This is our first market update for the year and is one that is probably one of the most difficult one I can bring to you. The reason why is that the geopolitical tensions that we have seen over the last however many years, it seems to be reaching this boiling point. My name is Chang and I'm the CEO of Think Global Logistics. I'd like to wish everyone who's watching this Happy New Year and wish you all the very best. As they say, health, wealth and happiness. With all of the tensions that we have been witnessing the last few years, not only not subsiding, but really coming to the 24th hour. As we are filming this, there is already talks that the strike on Iran by the USA is imminent. For us logistics folks, this is a very serious bit of information if it comes to reality or fruition, because that particular part of the world is very important for the global oil trade, as well as near the centerpiece of some very major shipping lanes. If you are doing business in and out of the Middle East, if you are doing business in and out of Europe, you should be very concerned and very worried. Depending on what happens over the course of the next 24, 48 days, weeks and months, it will really shape how this year will look. We can't control what will happen, but I can, I suppose, comment on what has been happening since the end of last year till now. Trade has been generally lackluster, but then again, commercial trade of physical goods has been lackluster for the better part of the last couple of years. Those are the realities of coming down from the COVID highs that we have seen. Even without all of these geopolitical tensions, what have you, just a hangover from the COVID years, we should reasonably and logically expect a certain level of downturn, because nothing stays up forever. And this is what we have seen, generally speaking, on the commercial side of the world, if you don't pay any attention to the political side of the world. What has been really rather cumbersome is all of these anomalies caused by the geopolitics of it all, especially with the way how things are done on that front. That is very unconventional. So that makes sort of market updates and predictions extremely difficult, right? But what has happened in the last few months is that we have seen a rush towards the end of the year, rightly so, due to the holiday season and the seasonal spendings that we've seen. So there has been an uptick in demand of capacity and therefore pricing to move goods. That is seen consistently across every region of our planet. The American tariffs, the implication of all of that has had its impacts. Right? So you'll find a lot of the Chinese suppliers really had a lot of their volumes cut down, because once you apply those tariffs, those sectors are no longer viable for those manufacturing base for that particular sector of the market. So those manufacturing base has to do a lot of pivoting and reinventing themselves or rediscover new customers and therefore new supply chains. This is what we've seen in the USA, where a lot of the traditional industries has had impact in terms of volume. And this is why the pricing to the USA has seen modest growth when the demand truly came to the fore. Australia, because so far we have been relatively measured in our approach on things, and we generally are trade welcoming. As a small nation in terms of population, we need international trade to stay buoyant, because otherwise we do not have other markets to generate income. So therefore it's very important for us to keep our neighbors, especially China, on side, regardless of the political narrative. The commercial reality, you have to keep them on side, because a lot of our GDP relies on the mining sector selling successfully to China. And that is the cold hard truth. And no amount of political narrative is going to change that. And this is equally true with our agricultural sector. With those things being said, outside of the disruption that's going to be caused by the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, expect to see the conditions of normal commercial trade to be lackluster. I will not be expecting pricing for movements of freight to be too different to what we have seen in 2025. So if you're an importer or an exporter or have you, look at the books historical records, that is 2025, my money will be on it that for 26, you'll be generally about the same in terms of expense. Let's take the dog out of quarantine, that is Middle East. If that happens, no one knows, because it is really, really uncertain. And this is why I said earlier on, if you're doing business in Middle East, you're doing business in Europe, you should be very concerned. There is really nothing you should be doing, I can tell you, because I have no idea, like everyone else on this planet. Because even the ones that are wanting to start this conflict, those folks don't have an idea what the repercussions of their actions will be. And that's why we live in a very dangerous time. How will we behave with China? Well, hopefully our government, whoever the powers that may be, will keep their head on the shoulders and have a sensible approach. They will continue to be trade friendly with China to ensure our economy is protected against these geopolitical issues. Don't forget, back in 2008, when the GFC hit globally, Australia was by and large shielded from 90% of the pain that the rest of the world felt, very simply because of mining and China. If we, at the political level and commercial level, continue to trade positively with China in that fashion, I still strongly believe China will give us a level of protection against the geopolitical disruptions that we will see. I know a lot of our customers who trade very actively with China, their plans have not changed away from China. In fact, they'll probably double down with China, because as these manufacturing base in China started getting impacted with the US tariffs and they can start selling less to China, they start looking for new markets. And one of the easiest markets for them is Australia. So the good news for you Australian traders of physical goods, if you ever were on the sort of the bottom of the list when it comes to dealing with those important factories that supplies your goods because your volume was simply too small, or your order quantities, wasn't diverse enough or interesting enough for them, this is the time. Double down, making sure as capacity is freed up, these factories has to turn the wheel. And they'll be looking for existing customers, which is the lowest hanging fruit, to compensate for the reduction of volume to the US. And this is equally true if you sit anywhere else in the world outside of USA, of course. This is the time for you to really re-engage, and noting that there will be a demand from those factories for your business now. They'll give you the attention you might not have gotten in the past. They'll give you the priority service. Put simply, they have more capacity for you now. So don't let that ball drop. Get as much advantages while you can, because opportunities like this doesn't come around every day. With all that being said, pricing wise, shipping wise, expect lackluster performance from, I guess, as an industry that's logistics, because if the volume isn't there, there is no demand, right? This is the time when you really look at your own business model and think, okay, what do I have on the table here? How do I make my business prosper in the next 1 to 2 to 3 years? And at the same time, stay nimble enough, doesn't matter what sky falls around you, that you're able to have enough buffer or protection to carry you through. And one of the most important things is to make sure that your suppliers is adequate enough, buoyant enough, resilient enough along with you, that they can handle the storms that will come. And the second part is, of course, making sure that the people you work with, you can trust, right? That they will give you the right price at the right time. When you call them, that there's someone on the other end of the phone to actually know who you are. Gone are the days for you to accept just a chatbot system and all that. Very important. We are very high on systems at TGL, so high that we are designing our own system, right? But we also have real people behind our systems to take a call, to give you that personal service. So this is the time when you go, okay, well, I want the best of technology, I want the best of service. This is what I want. We'll go to market and find them. Stop using multinationals if you are not a multinational company. It's one of the most idiotic things you can do. I've been in this industry long enough to tell you like this without needing to sugarcoat. The adage, if they're bigger, therefore they must be using it right, is probably one of the most flagrant disrespect you have for your business model. Bigger isn't better in logistics. Who are you to them? And if you are nothing to them, you'll be treated like nothing. This is the time while things are going, all chaotic and so forth. Double down with your suppliers. Look inside, refresh, renew your structures. Understand your suppliers. Who is giving you joy and value? Who are the suppliers you can trust? To cap off on this update, what will come, will come. And unfortunately, a lot of it will come is beyond our control. But what we can see is things are going to be lackluster. Things are going to be a little bit quieter. So this is a good time for you to clean house. Do that spring cleaning you've always been wanting for your business. Yet things that is class A against your business models. Don't just choose things because these are the brands I know. If you're an Australian SME, you have no business using a multinational company. Support local companies, support local businesses who are on the ground where you work, who are also contributing directly to the economy that you are a part of. This is how we stick together. On that bombshell, thank you so much. My name is Chang.
I'm going back to my day.